Hi, I'm Liam Livingstone. Come and spend the day with me. Yeah, pretty much all mornings are the same. Coffee first, have some breakfast, and then probably another coffee in the car on the way to training or the gym. And it's quite nice to get your stuff done in the morning and then pretty much have our afternoons off to try and do whatever we want. Yeah, my girlfriend starts at 8 o'clock work, so it's usually her getting up early, making the coffee. If I have training at 9 o'clock, I'll obviously be up. I'll make the coffee when I'm up first. But yeah, just usually coffee, make some breakfast, usually eggs, toast, beans, omelettes, things pretty simple. Yeah, it's, I guess, cricket days I head to Old Trafford and make sure I get my cricket stuff done, and then my gym days it's nice to sort of stay away from cricket things and cricket people and have a bit of a rest. Spending time with Liv. Yeah, we've had her dog up here for the last week, so we've enjoyed that. Going out on walks in the morning and afternoon, and we've actually just joined the gym, which is just around the corner. So yeah, thankfully we don't have a 40-minute journey for gym sessions at the moment, which has made things nicer. So they've got a lovely spa area, so sometimes go for a swim. Yeah, try and get out to watch some football. I've been to Blackburn a couple of times, which I don't really get that opportunity during the year, so or just chill. While she's at work in the day, I'll play some COD, nighttime, watch sport. It sounds really weird, but just being able to sit on your own sofa at home and watch your own TV it's quite nice for us when we spend so much time in hotels away. So we've got a big 3 months coming up. We've got IPL and then a World Cup. So I think India is very different to anywhere else in the world where you play cricket. The fans obviously love it more than anyone in the world. So it's just a very different culture towards cricket than what we experience anywhere else in the world. But it's good fun. Everybody loves it. The crowds are amazing everywhere we play. We get to travel around India playing in all these different stadiums that I guess we watched growing up. IPL was obviously something that every cricket fan watched as a kid, so to have dreamed of always wanted to play in it and now being able to experience that is pretty cool. So yeah, there's some experiences within the IPL that you don't get anywhere else in the world, and you probably never will get. And there's just a few different things that I've tried to change technically, tried to just sort of strip things back to basics over the last 4 weeks and make a few changes to hopefully get myself in a better place to go out to India. So trying out a few different things and making sure I get on that plane in a really good headspace going into India. I've been doing most of my work on the bowling machine and just trying to make a few little tweaks to hopefully get me back to where I want to be and hopefully able to make an impact in the IPL. I'm sure my brother and my dad will want to come out. My girlfriend will come out for a little bit. And yeah, a couple of mates want to come out and see what the IPL is all about and experience that whilst I'm still playing. So yeah, you kind of just take that as it goes, and there'll be a window or there'll be a couple of games back to back that are quite exciting for friends and family to come out and watch. So yeah, I'm sure we'll plan that towards the middle of the tournament. It's always nice to when you've been away from home for a month or so to see your family. So yeah, I'm sure we'll sort that as the tournament goes on.
Right, Libby, do you want to take me back to where it started? How did you get involved with cricket originally?
Yeah, so my earliest memories of cricket are probably 4 or 5 years old. My mum and dad live on a cricket pitch and the estate right next to the cricket pitch. So yeah, probably playing with my brother and his older mates. Yeah, just at tea time of the cricket games, any time we could really get involved and try and join in with them. So yeah, that was probably my early memories of cricket was tea time of Borough first team, and then probably at quick cricket at primary school. Yeah, the sort of earliest memories that I have of playing. So, and especially having an older brother and trying to join in with them and stuff sort of made me grow up a little bit quicker than probably what it would have not having an older brother. So yeah, I used to enjoy myself. It was nicer when I started to grow up a little bit faster and could sort of keep up with them, and yeah, nice to get to a stage where none of them could get me out and stuff, which was great fun. But no, I think certainly having an older brother was great for my very sort of earliest development. a driveway. We've got like 2 garage doors and a middle bit, which is the width of the stump. So we used to get a piece of chalk or a set of stumps and put them in the middle bit, and we'd play on the drive. And yeah, mum and dad weren't allowed to park their cars on the drive or anything. So yeah, we used to love that as sort of kids growing up. We'd play after school. Even sort of when my brother went to college, they'd have like lads coming around to play and to play cricket in their garden. We'd go around the cricket and stuff. So yeah, it was great for me. I sort of that younger kid as I started to grow up. I'd train on a Tuesday and Thursday, and it used to be great that it was just around the corner because yeah, till whenever I could, whenever it got dark, or my mum was screaming out the bedroom window to me to get home, I'd be round there. I had a pro called Raul Lewis who was there. He was there for probably 5 or 6 years when I was maybe 10 or 11, and he used to be out in the middle bowling leg spin for hours on end. Yeah, just sort of trying to help me, making me a better player. So he was certainly one of the biggest influences on my sort of cricket development.
How old were you when you went into the academy?
So I obviously played Cumbria and Barrow as a kid, and then I started to move down to Lancashire. I got sort of scouted or whatever they call it these days in the Northern League, and I got an opportunity to come down for a trial. And yeah, I think I joined the academy at 15 or 16, spent 2 or 3 years travelling down 3 times a week with mum and dad. So they used to bring me down for probably 3 years, and then yeah, I sort of went from the academy there to playing second team cricket. And by the time I started playing second team cricket, I was 18. I came down to uni more so to be in Manchester so that I could play cricket rather than actually going to uni. So yeah, I moved down here and sort of worked from there. But yeah, the first time I sort of went down, I had the choice between Lancashire and Durham, and I'd always gone to watch Lancashire as a kid. So this was where I wanted to play, and yeah, thankfully it all worked out.
And
yeah, the 350 was sort of the first time that that I kind of got my name out there, and yeah, I guess it was more people sort of being aware of what I could do. And I think it actually gave me a big step forward to playing professional cricket, because I hadn't played a professional game at this point. I'd done really well in second team, and yeah, thankfully the opportunity came that year for me to play T20 cricket. That was actually 2015, and it was the year that we won the trophy. So yeah, as a career to get started, it was a pretty good start.
And then, like you say, you made your Lancashire debut quite soon after. How did that feel?
Yeah, it's one of them. Like, I played, because I was at a big club. I played lots of second team cricket before I played first team cricket, so I felt like I was ready to play. I'd probably played 3 or 4 full years of second team cricket and done really well. I probably deserved an opportunity sooner than I actually got it. Went away to Australia in the winter, came back and went straight into the red ball team, and sort of my first 2 years as a professional cricketer went really well. Everything was sort of on that upward trajectory. I didn't really have any setbacks, and yeah, I scored 100 in my second first class game, and it sort of went from there. I absolutely loved the challenge of red ball cricket. I was probably more of a red ball player than a white ball player when I first came through. So the first 2 or 3 years as a professional cricketer went really well for me. I worked my way into the England Lions squad and ended up making my England debut as well in 2018, I think. So yeah, I absolutely loved my first 2 or 3 years on the county circuit as a 12.
Mm-hmm. And then moving forward, your England debut.
Yeah, I don't really remember too much of my England debut. I didn't do very well. I can't really remember much of it, but yeah, it was just one of those experiences that I was really thankful for. A few years later, it sort of didn't go too well for me. I sort of fell out of the England system, and then went around, sort of had to restart again, went around playing some franchise cricket, and yeah, I absolutely loved the challenge of sort of getting knocked back and going around, having to sort of rebuild my name again and playing some franchise cricket. So I absolutely loved the challenge of that, and was sort of yeah, pretty proud of the resilience that I showed to get back up there. Yeah, I got back into the England setup and kind of went from there, and I felt like I was in a much better place to kind of take that opportunity and with it. So yeah, it was a weird sort of first 6 years of my career. Like, a lot of things went really well, some things didn't go so well, and some things could go well, some things don't go so well, and that's sort of the game we play. I guess it's the same in pretty much every professional sport. So,
and you mentioned that, how do you deal with setbacks?
I think if you're going to look at the good, you've got to look at the bad, and vice versa, really. And I think the best way for me to deal with it at the moment is just, if you don't look at anything, nobody can have an opinion on you. And I guess that's one of the modern day sports, when it's a pretty difficult task to have. If you play at the highest level, you've got to learn to be able to take the good with the bad, and I guess that's probably one of the biggest things that people have to cope with nowadays.
And talking of individual performances, you held the record for the fastest 50 and 100 in T20Is for England. I think Mo picked you by a ball. Since how was that, the experience, and talk me through that game?
We came back out, we went straight into that series against Pakistan, and I think I ended up with player of the series. It was the best series I've had as a cricketer, and yeah, I absolutely loved that sort of time of my life, and that series, that year, that summer that I had in, I think it was 2021, and yeah, it was just, I sort of started on a high with that 100 at Trent Bridge, and then I think I got 40 off 20 and hit the ball out of head in the game after, and then the game after that was the decider against Pakistan at Old Trafford, and I hit a 6-verse ball and they got out. So it was a really sort of weird experience of that sort of being on a high and just riding the wave the whole way through the summer. It was the 100 that followed that, and I had a really good inaugural 100, which was great because there was a lot of eyes and ears on the new tournament and how it was going to go. So,
is there a particular favourite that you have around the world? Is there any tournament that really stands out to you, or
you're going to narrow them down? I absolutely love the 100 because it's the English summer. Yeah, probably the IPL is very different to any other tournament we play, which is pretty cool. So yeah, by looking, we get all these different options.
And do you sit down at the start of the year and you get to plan, pick and choose which tournaments you go and play?
Yeah, so throughout the year we'll sit down at the start of the year and kind of pick which tournaments we want to play in, and make sure that we get a rest in where we can as well, which is obviously very key for us mentally more than anything else, as well as physically. So
nice. And then we talked about the IPL, and I guess it runs till start of May, probably the final. How much do you get, or how many games do you sort of aiming to play for Lancashire this year?
Yeah, I guess this is the thing with Lancashire at the moment. We obviously go away and play in the IPL. It's the best tournament in the world, so we missed the first sort of month of the championship season, and then when we come back, we've got international cricket to play. This year we've got a World Cup. So last year we were really lucky. We had Joss available for most of the T20 Blast. I played most of the T20 Blast, and that very rarely happened. So that was quite nice for us to have. Yeah, I think this year it might be a little bit more of a challenge for us to play for Lancashire. But look, I love playing for Lancs. Then nothing really beats a summer's night at Old Trafford. So yeah, I try and play as much as I can whilst being aware that we're not robots. We do need a break from the thing that we're doing.
Right, should we get into some moves?
Let's go. I used to have a trigger that went back, so I'm trying to get rid of, like I used to go back and then back through, but I'm trying to get rid of that and just go with my front foot so that I don't have, like I used to get into here and then I'd like drop into, and that's where I get myself in trouble. So I was trying to stay on it a bit more. Lads, just be careful. Just gonna try and smack a few. Going with your head. Oh! It slows it down, it won't hurt if it hits you.
3, 2, 1, go. One.
No. 14. 15. No. 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 No.
Yeah, 6. That's massive. 4.
What?
Okay, 6. Yeah. That's massive.
30 off 7.
Oi. Oh. Another 6.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
For 6 hitting, my 2 biggest things are making sure you've got a set base to hit from. And my second one is making sure that all my weight goes back through the ball. So there's times if I don't hit it that well, is actually if I lose this back hip too early, I stay behind the ball, that's when I end up hitting it in the air.
Cool, so should we give it together?
I'll try my best to show you what I mean. See if it comes off.
All right, let's do it.
You see, that's actually quite a good example of I sat probably a little bit later than what I did the first time. I didn't quite get my weight right the way through, which means I lost my back leg, the ball went straight up. So like if I'm training and sort of working out different ways to hit the ball, one thing I would be trying to do now is making sure that my weight goes all the way through the ball and not sort of get to a position where you see the ball, you sort of relax a bit and hit the ball straight up. So
Can you almost try and hit it too hard?
yeah, 100%. And I actually hit the biggest sixes when you're sort of in the perfect position and your back just sort of like flows through in a natural way. So I'm trying to make sure my set nice and early and make sure my weight goes through.
Yeah.
Like that. See how that's so much better
beautiful.
than losing my back leg. Okay, I've got one bit of advice.
Yeah, hit
right?
me.
When you set, so you're obviously very technically, you worry technically about your batting because you're a bit like straight up and down.
Right.
Try and almost pretend you're playing baseball. Lose this front elbow.
Yeah.
Bring your elbow in, but try and keep your shoulder. So sort of tuck your elbow in, try and keep your shoulder around and swing that way instead of swinging that way.
Front elbow, tuck it in.
Front elbow, tuck it in. There we go. That's actually quite a nice swing. Go again. Set yourself early. Great set. Simple tips that I would have for anyone would be set early and make sure you get your weight through the ball.
Cool, all right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers.